intentional. I am intentional. I am intentional.
We're back and we're going over story 3 of How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemison. So exciting. These stories have been pretty interesting thus far, right?
Mm-hmm.
How have we been feeling about the stories we've been reading?
A lot more puzzled than anything.
Yeah.
The first one was more confused. Okay. Something's not right. It's glitching.
That's all right. It's
Okay.
still going.
You sure?
Yeah.
I feel like they can see us twitching.
I hope not. But yeah, the first two stories were pretty good. Now we're on story number 3, and this one is called Red Dirt Witch. So
Alright
the
then.
first two stories were written in first person, and this one was written in third person.
That is correct.
Yep. You want to tell us about the setting?
Alright then. Well, this is the Red Dirt Witch. In the setting, we go into 1930 during the Civil Rights Movement in Virginia, Mobile, Alabama.
No.
No?
It's
in both.
No, it's in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama.
But like the time period is when like the
the Civil Rights Movement
was starting. Yeah, was brewing in Virginia during the 1930s.
Sorry, it's too close together.
Oh, it's okay. I wrote like little key card notes. But yeah, so like it's 1930s in Virginia. You have the Black Renaissance. Black people are doing it up big. We have our own businesses, banks, law offices, schools, everything. And you know, Black people were doing it so big that they were able to get so far into like law that they had enough plaintiffs to start, you know, making their own court cases. And then they started suing the state of Virginia for segregation. They started suing Virginia for disparities in funding for schools and payment for the teachers due to race and things like that. So we're in Mobile, Alabama, and it's gossip down there. Hey, in Virginia, the Negroes up there are doing XYZ. So that's what's happening in Mobile, Alabama right now. And it's Emmeline. She's the main character here. She's a mom. She has 3 boys. She's a widow. So she's, not 3 boys, two boys and a girl. So she's raising these 3 children by herself because she is a widow. Jim, Sample, and Pauline are her 3 kids. And I'm assuming they're about like 12, 13-ish, maybe a little bit older than that.
They don't feel older to me. I feel like they're 11.
They feel 11 to you?
Yes.
The way she was like treating them and talking about them, yeah, I got like they were young since.
I feel like the brothers were younger, but they keep on trying to step up from themselves, especially during when the lady appears.
Yeah.
So that's why I got like the 2 brothers are probably younger,
and I got the teen vibes. Older. Yeah, I got teen vibes from Pauline.
Teen vibes from Pauline.
Yeah, she seems to be the oldest with her 2 younger brothers. So Emmeline is the mother, and she's spiritual. Her spiritual gifts are she has premonitions, and she can also hear spirit. Spirit speaks to her. So in her premonitions, in her sleep lately, she's been having dreams of just terrible things happening. And also a white lady comes to her in her dreams. And this white lady is someone she feels she has to prepare for. Like this lady wants something. She's getting a weird feeling about this white lady coming. So then she arrives. And you want to talk about what happens when she arrives?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it.
Read it.
Wow. Okay, so first off, there is a lot of racial discrimination in here. Almost a lot. So much so that we even talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
We actually took like a good 10 minutes when we even talked about it.
I had to give him like a feel for the scene of like the era of what was going on during this time.
I couldn't figure out like which one, if it was later on or too early.
Right. This was a time where like white people, like, you know, slavery not just ended, but is, you know, ended about 30 years ago. There's still a lot of racial tension. You know, white people could still walk up to your porch and say, hey, I want your kids. And you can't tell me no, because I'll have my husband and my brothers to your porch to burn the house down and I'll take the kids. Or I want you to come work for me and you don't have an option. So I had to explain to him that, you know, racism, not racism, slavery, when it was introduced to us as slavery ending, it's kind of like, oh, it was over and that's it. And that's not, how it ended. It was still a lot of hate going on. It was still a lot of killing of innocent black people. It was a lot of torture, harassment. It was just a lot of things going on. It wasn't safe to be a black person in America after slavery was over, even still. It was still kind of scary. And Emmeline grew up in this fear. She watched her parents live in fear, as free people. And so that fear was instilled in her. And so she tried to teach her children how to talk around white people, much like how we try to teach our children and talk to our children a certain kind of way of how they should act around white people or how they should act around police officers and things like that. Like, we don't like to admit that we talk to our children like that, but we do. When we're out in public and things like that, we do make, certain statements like, don't embarrass me in front of these white people, or don't do this in front of white people, blah, blah, blah.
But
This isn't
just
professional, blah, blah. We do that. So this is during a time where like they're really talking about that, because if you don't do that, you're gonna die. And that's where Emmeline is raised, and that's the fear that she carries when she raises her children. So this lady arrives and she wants Pauline, and Pauline is the teenager, like we said, she's a teenage daughter. And we also notice about this lady is she comes with a slave. She has this young girl, about 11 or 12, holding an umbrella for her with no shoes on.
and then we get a glimpse of how Pauline and the brothers react to the woman. Pauline shows a little bit of disgust, not as in hatred, but more of, oh wait, what did I say? Disappointment.
Yeah, disappointment.
Because Pauline, she's the most resistant one out of all of them, with teen friends and all.
Mm-hmm.
And so she kind of expected that she would have more determination and not like hold the umbrella for the white woman. And she was a redhead too.
Mm-hmm. So the tea.
It kind of had like a good, like, nerdy breakdown over there when they did the tea part.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to joke here. They kind of had that little fight.
Yeah, they had like a little witch fight over the tea. So the white lady asks for a glass of tea. She says she's thirsty. Pauline goes and gets the tea. The tea is made with sage, fig, rosemary, and acorn flour. And essentially, I looked up the benefits of each, plant. Of course, sage removes negative energy. Fig leaves, in the biblical sense, is from the tree of knowledge, is the fig tree. And in dreams, it's also a good sign. It's a sign of prosperity. Rosemary is a symbol of remembrance and also wards off evil spirits. And acorn is also a plant of prosperity. So essentially, this tea is to ward off an evil spirit and also enhance prosperity. So when the white lady drinks the tea, she doesn't like it, because this is, these are African centered plants. This is African centered tea. It was grown on red dirt, which is the dirt from the slaves' blood from being killed. She doesn't like the tea, and she makes a little joke about the tea supposed to be made of rowan, thorn, and ash, which are trees from Celtic magic. And those three things put together ward off evil spirits. That's a Celtic concoction to ward off spirits. So they have a little nerdy spiritual joke about that what my culture does versus what your spiritual magic culture does. Essentially, the tea didn't work, as she didn't go anywhere. She still wants Pauline, and Pauline agrees to go. So Emmeline's upset. She tries to explain to Pauline, you know what could happen if she takes to you. It's not just as much as you holding an umbrella without shoes on. She could do things to you, which is, true, because this isn't just a regular, white woman coming to get your kid. This is a white witch coming to get your kid, because they also made a comment about her wanting young black baby blood, young black girl blood, and things like that. So, there's no telling what this white lady wanted with Pauline. You know what I mean?
We even noticed that Pauline also kind of has the same ability as Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Because then Pauline shares about how black people will soon be in the White House and how we'll all stand up over the whites.
Yeah. So yeah, so when Pauline says I'll go because the white lady says, "Listen, if you give me Pauline, I'll make sure your sons are safe. I know you've been having visions of me. I know you've been having visions of what's to come in the future, and it's going to be really dangerous for your boys. It's going to be really dangerous for you. So if you give me Pauline, I'll make sure you guys are safe for whatever is going on." So then Pauline says, "I'll go." So Emmeline is like, you don't understand, you could be more than just a slave. You don't know what she wants to do with you. And Pauline tells her mom, I've been having visions too. I knew she was coming. I've been having, visions of us fighting back and us winning and us being in the White House and us doing all of these great things. And Emmeline lets that sink in. And I got like a really good mom vibe from Emmeline because, you instill in your children what you think is going to help them survive in this world on a society level, on a culture, social level or whatever. And, your children just, they push that boundary past what you thought they could do. And it's always eye opening. And I felt that vibe from Emmeline in that moment. Looking at her daughter and looking at the woman that she was becoming and finding out in the same moment that her daughter also had the same gift of sight, and what she was choosing to do with that sight, was also astounding to see, your daughter make that adult decision and have, meaning behind that adult decision. As a parent, it's a very table turning experience to watch your child go through these milestones. Um, so yeah, I felt that mom vibe. I felt that. And so Emmeline essentially still says no. So it's in the night. Emmeline has been up all night holding her gun, making sure she doesn't go to sleep. And then she checks the kids' rooms, and lo and behold, Pauline is gone. She went to the fairgrounds over by Red Dirt Mountain, and the significance of Pauline going to the white lady on the fairgrounds is where the fairgrounds was a dominant plantation. At this plantation was where the slaves were brought off the ships and broken down and taken of their spirit, as per words in the book, and branded before they were sold off. And it was so much blood in the dirt that the dirt was red. It was Red Dirt Mountain. And so she makes the statement in the book that white people get some sort of power of that kind of magic of sitting on the dirt of our blood. And I just kind of spiraled in my mind from that little tidbit, because I know that a lot of major buildings, a lot of essential buildings to I won't say white America, just America general, America culture is on sacred grounds, is on, spiritual grounds. Um, the major museums, they still have plantations where they utilizing as museums and making money off of, and people like to visit. So there is some kind of power and magic in keeping that alive, keeping the blood in the dirt alive. I can see that. I can apply that to real life. And then also we know about, like, we watch Hidden Colors, and about the kidnapping of black women and black children and black men also, and organ donating, and black blood and things like that. So we know about that market of those things. That's nothing new to us. So her little tidbits of information as far as like the witchcraft of white people and things in the story, it it was cool to see someone else put that there. It was cool. I appreciated it. I saw it. Um so she goes to the fairgrounds and she's telling Pauline, hey, you can't go. So then Emmeline essentially sacrifices herself and says she will go instead because her daughter is still innocent. Her daughter still has a life to live, and Emmeline has lived, and she's an adult and things like that. And so she convinces the white lady to take her because she has knowledge over energy and she is capable of doing things better. And, she kind of belittles Pauline in an attempt to make Pauline less desirable by the white lady. So the white lady eventually takes Emmeline. Emmeline goes with her in the dream abyss, And then Pauline goes on to become mayor and governor, and the sons were also freedom fighters, and they were also protected in their different ways. So the white lady did keep her promise of protecting the other three for a trade of one. And Emmeline stayed with her, and yeah, that's pretty much it in the story. So what I liked the most and what I got a lot from the story was the comparison of generations. Just looking at a generation, younger than you, as well as a generation older than you, and seeing how, each generation is dealing with, these societal disparities in their own way. Um, I think that's pretty cool. I also like I also like to look at, the setting of the story. I like learning about the Black Renaissance. I think the 1900s to 1920s is like, I think that's a dope era for us, an era that we should definitely be looking into and researching and embracing, and you know putting on our altars, definitely, because that's the energy we should definitely be bringing back, is it that era of the Black Renaissance, where we were okay with segregation to the point where we were just building our own things. I personally feel like when we started fighting, I don't think there was ever an issue with fighting for equality, but when we started fighting for inclusion, to assimilate and things like that, I think that's when things went downward, because we stopped putting so much energy into having our own things and was kind of fighting for everyone else's cause and being the energy or the backbone of everybody else's businesses and structures and manufacturing and creativity and things like that. We're the structure when we could be creating our own and having another Black Renaissance. I hope that for us. I hope that we get back to that. And I feel it. Because if that was going on in the 1920s, it's 2020. So we might be coming back to it. We might be repeating the century again. So who knows?
I don't want to repeat the century of the
mean,
Black
we already
Plague.
are. We
I
are,
mean,
though.
I don't want to.
The flu was from 1918 to 1922. And now we have this virus, and then the Black Renaissance was from that, and now we have 2020, so we could be coming back into the Black Renaissance. I see a lot of people looking into buying land, forex trading,
I don't want to
be businesses.
I don't want to be home though, and this is all my youth, and I have to sit here, and if I go outside, I look mega weird.
Nah, that's why I'm trying to buy land. I'm trying to that's the move right now. I'm trying to buy acres of land. I saw like 35 acres in Arizona for like $17,000. So it's like 3,500 down and then like $700 a month. And I feel like that's doable because I live in Jersey. The rent here is like $1,600 a month. So if that's what you can paying rent in Jersey, like you could go buy land. We could buy acres and acres of land and build our own village and build our own new Black Renaissance. We could have our businesses. We could have our own retreats. All these spiritual people coming together, building our own retreats on our own land, and it's private property. We could build our houses. We could have our own security, our own private owned security, so we don't need public officers or officials. We have our own private owned firefighter, our own private owned hospital with our own Black doctors and nurses that know about melanin and holistic medicine, and we could do that. We could do that ourselves. And like I felt like that tipping point and seeing how everybody in the story was willing to sacrifice themselves to do that. Everybody, even the sons that were like 11, everybody in the story was willing to sacrifice themselves for that. I love that energy. That was the energy that I got from this story. So yeah, Sage, facts. Like, that's definitely what I'm trying to do right now. I see a brother on Instagram. He's trying to buy like 40 acres out in Nevada, doing the same shit. Like, I got like a group of people that I'm trying to work out with to do some shit in Arizona. But that Nevada trip, if Chiefs can get together at the same time, at the same table, then like let's all do the Nevada shit. Like, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So that's what I got from the story. What did you get?
I don't think it was more anything positive.
No, you
I
just took it
don't.
for a story. Respect.
I only took it for a story because it was kind of a same old thing. It's just that I just got it in a different perspective.
So what did you learn from reading the story? Because
Well,
you got a
I
little
got.
lesson in history and everything
I
and
mean,
magic.
I did get more into history, and I
Mhm.
actually got more into herbs today. That is something I did have to learn for me to get the story and like the nerdy battle they had.
Mm.
I kind of also learned a little bit of magic, I guess, or more not spiritual, but I don't know what the word is for it.
Like herbal or like what do you call it? Like botany. We learn about the medicinal benefits of the different plants because we
Yes.
got a little bit of botany lot, little herbal studies knowledge in the story real quick. We got a little bit of magic information in the story real quick. We got some history in the story real quick. Got some inspirational information in the story real quick. So this was a nice, well-rounded story. I really appreciated the story. And just reading how everybody was willing to sacrifice themselves. And it has been a while since I've watched a movie or read a book in this period of time, only because I always get angry in my stomach. Like I feel the heat in my stomach when I read about these times, but they're important to read about because it does bring back that drive and that motivation and that willingness to sacrifice yourself because you read about so many other people that were willing to do so. So yeah, that's it for story 3. My man's pop over here getting tired.
I have not been able to sleep. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, I just haven't been able to sleep, Mom. I don't get it.
Well,
I mean, I'm not watching scary things, and even if I am, which I have, it's just like,
so what are you doing with your energy?
I don't know.
You gotta do something with that energy.
It's not even energy, though. I just can't sleep.
Meditate.
It's just like I just close my eyes and I feel so relaxed, but I just don't go to sleep.
Sorry to hear that, means. We'll figure it out. So, next Monday, what do we got? What story are we reading?
Well, we are, for the next N.K. Jemison book, or chapter, not book, La Alchemista, which is on page 58.
Okay, so La Alchemista, which sounds like the Spanish word for the female alchemist, which is cool because the last book we read was The Alchemist. So we'll be doing that next Monday. That's probably like a good 15 to 20 pages, which not bad, which seems to be the theme for these stories, 15 to 20 pages. And that's pretty much it. This Friday at 8 o'clock, I have Nobody's Bingo. If you guys are still interested, RSVP for that. I have a lot of cool prizes. I have a few people still dropping off some things. I think I got some edibles as prizes now. I got t-shirts, tote bags, a lot of different samples for other small businesses. All my small business out here. This week is your last chance to get in this Nobody's Bingo. But we had such a good turnout. I got like 20 RSVPs already. So it's looking like we're definitely going to do this again because this is the first time and I've gotten such a good, feedback. I still have people looking at RSVP by Friday, which you can do. You can RSVP on Friday. That's fine. So yeah, Nobody's Bingo, Friday night, 8 o'clock until whenever it's done. T-shirts, bags, organites, edibles, samples. We got a bunch of stuff for prizes, and everybody that participates gets something. You'll get like a sample insert thing. Also, check out my Taurus zodiac reading for those of you who want to know what's going on. If as above, so is below. So check out the planetary forecast on YouTube. What you got going on?
Oh, nothing really, to be honest.
Nothing really.
But I do have a challenge for you guys. So the bingo's going to be tonight, right?
No, bingo's on Friday.
Bingo's on Friday. So everybody, I would like you to train up your skills in bingo because I would love it to see my mom lose.
I'm not. I'm gonna be the Steve Harvey.
No.
I'm the host.
Oh, I thought you would play.
No, I'm the host. I gotta make sure
Because
nobody cheating. I gotta make my little jokes. I got my Spider-Man wit.
But I'm the photographer.
I gotta get me like a Steve Harvey suit.
But I'm the ultimate photographer. I'm the Peter Parker.
You're the Peter Parker?
Yes.
No. Mm. But that's all we got going on. So thanks for sitting with us for our story 3.
I'm this family's photographer.
Let us know what you think. If you haven't gotten the book already, go ahead and get it because we have a lot more stories to go. It's like 300 pages of these, John. So come read along. Have a good week, guys.
And I hope you guys get ready for bingo.
Whoop.